Hey, Shalom. Want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakah, Quadash. Want to give double honors to our apostles, who are our elders who rule well. Want to say blessed salutations, Slakia, and our elders are of GMS. Let's put that out there. And they rule well. Also blessed salutations to you brothers and you women out there that's enduring this truth, sincerity. Also blessed salutations to the weed amongst tares. And also, last but not least, a blessed salutation to you brothers out there teaching and doing the work. Now, I was through the Spirit, the Lord brought me to the scripture, man, really this chapter. And I just decided to go more in depth into it. It's not nothing too deep, but I received a revelation, which is the name of this lesson, that this work is more than a job. All right. As you have jobs that you really don't like it, but you do it because you got to get paid. So you do the bare minimum. And the main thing is that you do it with no affection. Okay. That is the main catalyst. And that's and if you get where I'm coming from, you go there, you do the job. You could do a wonderful job. You can be the best worker there, but you don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much money you're making, no matter the reward that you get, you really don't want to be there. Your affection could be towards your family or your personal jobs. That's why the scriptures say, lay your affections on things upon high. So this work that we do, and what I mean by work, it goes on to hitting the highways. It goes on to being in the ministry, being a body. It goes on to being within the order. It goes on into rising up within the ranks of the order. Just being there, whatever the Lord has you on in that journey, for you to advance and really be here, not just be here, not just be a number, and you just like, I can't wait to go home and do this. I got to just come here because it's Friday or Saturday or whenever camp day is. As long as I'm here for this time and I go home, I did my part. You know what I'm saying? You're on the highway, as long as I bring out this precept, I say that's right. Whole post, I did my part. That's not going to cut it, because the Lord tries to enter man. Okay, so I want to get into this. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And that right there, when I read that caught my attention, because the first two parts is good. And though I speak with the tongues of men, with the second part really, and of an angel, and of an angels, it says basically you speak with the angel's tongue. You're a messenger of the Most High. That means you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're not doing any wrong. Yet have you not charity? And what's charity? Charity goes back to Lord's will don't cut off. Yeah, you have to water Yahweh. And see, charity goes back to let's see if it'll play it for me. I'm not even gonna try it. It goes back to agape. Okay, which means affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love, feast. You got brotherly love, you got goodwill, you got benevolence, you got affection. All these things are key essentials, to the charity. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what charity really is basically having an affection for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're not just going through the motions. You're not just doing it to get it over with. You're doing it with a passion, with a love. No matter how good it is, you're putting your focus and your attention on it. Even when you're doing lessons, you're not just doing it, reading an article or reading a news update, and you just like, oh, this is a prophecy. Let me read it, get it over with. I did a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Doing the 3 lessons just to do them and not have a true compassion. You know, because me personally, I the bulk of my lessons is either prophecy or what I have learned in my stages of life. And this was very edifying unto me. At first I took it the wrong way of saying like, oh man, I need to be really, I didn't take it the wrong way because it does go into it, because the scriptures tell you honor the brotherhood, and sometimes I've gotten caught up into doing my job to where, I'll forget about the charity towards the brothers. And that's the little things. And the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, for me personally, always provided opportunities. And it's like, I'll be sitting there and I'll be doing something. I'm like, we got to do this, like that. Is that in the third? And the brother say something or a situation that happened. And the Lord be like, hey, you should do it like this, yo. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the logistics. It's like, no, I don't think we should do it like that. And it's not like it's like a clear cut, or it's the Lord. It's like in hindsight, it was like, man, the Lord told me to do that, man. And that's why it's important to be, always in the spirit, because it'll help you know the difference between that carnal thought and that spiritual thought. That's why it's important to fast. That's why it's important to pray, because that spirit speaks expressively, and that spirit, that voice gets louder for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the Holy Spirit, the ministering angels, man, that guides us on our path. Okay, and that's just a little sidebar. But going on, it says, verse 2, and though I have the gift of prophecy, which says what? Covered the gift of prophecy, and understand all mysteries, all the breakdowns, right? And understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, that's pretty much everything, so that I can remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing. You know what I'm saying? And like the Pharisees, the wicked Pharisees resembled that. They had all the knowledge. They had, all the mysteries, well, most of the mysteries. Now to this time, you can have all of you've seen guys fall out. Element, Batat, you know what I'm saying? Various people, big names, for lack of better words, that were hella knowledgeable, brothers that were just hella knowledgeable. They seemed like they'd never go anywhere. They were adamant. They had all the intangibles, but that passion wasn't there. And then when you look at it, you're like, yeah, they was lacking it. They were lacking that charity, man, that passion, that affection. To where, sometimes brothers get into an aspect, and I'm saying it as from brothers I've seen, that get into an aspect of, I'm in it and you're not, so everything that you do, good for you, ha, ha, ha. And you're losing that charity. You're forgetting where you came from, because the Lord gave us charity to get us in this thing. So we can't forget that charity got to exist. Of course, it has to have balance. It's all about balance. It's about knowing when to have charity, when to embrace and when to refrain from embracing. So we have to keep that in mind in our walk. But we can't forget to show charity, because we came from that place. And if that prophet at that said time didn't show that charity, where will we be? You know what I'm saying? That's how I think. When I walked past my first prophet and I was in full nigga mode, you know what I'm saying? But the Lord had that smidget of light in me, which everybody comes up with a smidget of light in them, but it's really the spirit either turns it on or just quits and puts it out. You know what I'm saying? And so basically, I mean, that smidge of light is like you got some type of hope. You was born up in a group, raised up in a church. You got something that makes you listen to the gospel. which happens to a lot of people. They'll walk up and they hear something, and they'll walk up to get their rebuke, or they hear something, they walk up and get their edification, and it, it ignites your flame within you. And for me, I always remember, for the most part, I'm walking up, dreads in my head, sagging and shit, asking dumb questions out of my mind, and that prophet at that time had patience with me, enough to tell me what I needed to hear, which was prophecy and who I was. And I walked off, as the books of Songs of Solomon says. It was but for a moment. And that moment stuck with me. And that seed was planted. And then the water, and then the Most High gave the increase. So I remember that moment, you know what I'm saying? I never forget that moment. So when things happen, or I see people and I'm on the other side, I'm that prophet now. I treat everybody the same way, and it takes patience to do that. It takes the ability to be humble to do that, because you got to be humble. You can't get prideful and say, you see bat in the Salaki. That's a different subject, but I go over that too. But it takes that humble nature instead of making this a clique thing. Also, when bad things happen to people, sometimes the judgment of the Most High exists. It happens. But the judgment of the Most High is some messed up stuff. It ain't no stuff that we're supposed to be used to and seeing, and we're raving and clapping our hands. For me personally, when I see Esau getting messed up, it's a joyous thing, because I know for a fact that they've done a lot of things that they deserve. Jake too, you know what I'm saying? Again, it's balance. But when stuff happened to just like random people on some like, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know this person. Only thing you know is that they wasn't in the truth. I really don't have that type of energy and vibration to clap for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know the dude. You know what I'm saying? And it reminds me of the scripture of when Yahushua said, he's seen the conditions of the people and he wept. Why would he weep? For just random people. Because what? He has charity. He has an affection for Israel. We have to have an affection for Israel. That's what we're doing this for. We're not doing this for brothers that woke up. You know what I'm saying? We're doing this for the elect also, but he sends us to publicans and sinners. You know what I'm saying? That's what we can't lose that affection to wake them up. And of course the apostles say, they believe they're woken up, and it could be a possibility. But at the same time, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And for the record, I'm not going against the apostles. I totally understand, and I totally can see it. But within the scriptures, I'm saying is that basically we don't know. That's the fact of it. So I'm still going to work as though I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just like right now, we're amongst the house of David, but you don't know if you will remain in the house of David. You don't know. Or the elect can be woken up. All of them can be woken up. They just need a little fine tuning here and there. Wherever it is, it's just that vibration and that energy still got to exist to still have that affection. You don't want to get in that one mindset and get shut off to everybody that's, walking in this world. You know what I'm saying? And I've gotten in that mindset to where if you're not across the line, you're not doing the work. I had this discussion amongst brothers, that, just because they're not doing the work doesn't make them, evil. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds crazy, but it's selfish for us to do that, because there's people out there that the Lord may wake up, and we can be sitting there laughing them to scorn and turn them away. You know what I'm saying? Or a person that is innocent toward that aspect, and we turn them away, that their blood will be on our hands type of deal. So we have to treat everybody in the right regard and accordingly. If a nigga's a nigga, You know what I'm saying? Even if you deserve to be woken up, if you act like an asshole at that point in time, and you deserve a certain lashing of the tongue, through the scriptures, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get what you get. You're gonna get what you came for. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not just gonna give it to you based off of how you look or what side of the fence you're on. That's carnal. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Our job is to have the affection to do the work. And our affection is to bid to the marriage. That's what he told us to do. That's really what hitting the highways is about, is bidding people to the marriage, prophesying, convincing the gainsayers, and condemning them, But if somebody's just walking by randomly, and a woman, she got her head blue and pink braids in her head, and she got hoop earrings. And I said, this is the problem. Niggas hoes like that, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, she may been hearing what we're saying, like, they got it. Yeah, man, I need to go home and read. And then she hears that. It's like, man, fuck that. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get it how I got to get it, because, ain't no, I'm not saying that that's the reality, but that's how it could happen, And that's just me being, having a gentle spirit toward it, man. Because I don't condemn the forward spirit, because the Lord requires both. At the end of the day, all right. I'm gonna continue on. I don't want to make too much of it, but to me, it's a very, insightful lesson. Verse 3 says, "And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing." So if you don't have this love, this brotherly love, this love and this affection towards what you're doing, you can sit there. He says, the scriptures tell you, give not grudgingly. It tells you not to pray to be seen amongst men. So this thing has to be a real passion for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be the most efficient at doing what you're doing. You can know the Hebrew, you can know the Greek, you can speak it fluently, you can know all the breakdowns, you can hit the highways 3 times a week. But if you're just doing it with an agenda, or you're doing it just to be doing it because you got the time or you got the energy, if you're not doing it because it's like, I gotta feed the flock, I gotta bid them to the marriage. We almost out of here, man. We got to get up out of here. We're in a burning building, and I got to save the people that the Lord gave me the power to save, and save as many as I can. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have an energy like that, instead of like, oh, I'm going to cut this nigga with this one, or I'm going to hurt him with this one. Oh, man, I got to be, I'm going to show everybody I got all the breakdowns. And you got the energy because of that type of mentality, then it don't matter. But if you got the energy of the first mentality of saying, I got to wake the people up, because that's what the Lord came here to do. He ain't come here to cut everybody. Like, the Lord left us an example. He came here compassionate with mercy, and he came being a hard man. It was quite clear. But when you read a lot of situations where he just said it how it's supposed to be, where it's supposed to be, and how it's supposed to be. It's just what one angle that you like or adhere to as an individual. Just like me talking like this, there's an angle of being forward, and you got to be forward and say what you got to say, and tell people what it is, and not tiptoe and dance around and make it fit for them. Because there ain't nobody that important that we got to manipulate the truth for. So it's a balance, but it's really the affection. Our affection is supposed to be up on high. So it's what the Lord's will is. The Lord's will is right now is to gather the elect. That's the Lord's will. Right now, we don't know who all the elect is or where they are. We know where some of the elect are. We can look at men next to us and say, that's one or that's one. And we don't even know that at the end of the day, because Judas was amongst the 12, and we see people fall out every day. You see? So, we just have to, try our best. The scripture came to my mind. It's like, some have entertained angels unawares. So What do you think that means for us? That we entertain angels unawares. That means what? We don't know that we're dealing with somebody that's an angel. You know what I'm saying? That's a spiritual being. That means he's not going to be in the camp. That means he's not going to be, not all the time. It could be a brother that pop up. It could be an angel that pop up in the camp, sit there and cross the other side, and then he'll disappear. You know what I'm saying? And just to be giving you, it could be like that. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody could be just walking by. Or it could be somebody at your job that'll pop up one day, or just in your everyday life, and you'll see them. So that's where, if you got charity, you wouldn't fuck that situation up. But if you got that, you ain't got where your garments, where your beard at, where this, you know what I'm saying? Angels don't come down decked out all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to come down in their glorious form, to where they dress to the T and dress to part. Why do you think they're unawares? We're not going to know. You know what I'm saying? It's not meant for you to know all the time. Sometimes they do be scrubbed down with the beard. They may look like a bum. They may look like an everyday worker. They're unawares. So treat people with respect. That's what I got from it, is that when you're doing this work, you give people the respect that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? You can lose respect now if you come up here talking stupid and doing, I'm gonna treat you accordingly. But I'm not gonna do that out the gate and just start disrespecting. You know what I'm saying? My job is to teach and teach the prophecies and tell the truth. Now, if we open the gates and we start talking about the truth, and you start the moment you disrespect, I'm admonished, I'm going to correct. Then it gets to the point that you, after the first or second admonition, reject. And at that rejection point, that's when the disrespect will come. Okay? All right. Let's see here. I'm not gonna, just because of the fact I took longer than I expected. From basically 4 on down to 8, it basically gives the characteristics of charity, which is coincides with love. But I just don't like to use the word love because Christians take that in a different way, where you think everything deserves love. No, everything doesn't deserve love. The love is supposed to be on high. Our affection is supposed to be on, we're supposed to love the Most High. And if the Most High hates homosexuality, he hates the homosexuals, that's what you're supposed to hate. And that's love. You know what I'm saying? That's that affection. It's pulling your brother out that fire. Now, that's another thing. That affection don't have to always be with that Mr. Rogers type of energy. That affection, sometimes you gotta fucking, gotta grit your teeth and be yelling at him, man. Like, what's wrong with you? And that was another lesson that I wanted to do, but I decided not to. But I just mentioned the idea of it right now, is that how to rebuke people. There's certain ways that everybody deserves to be rebuked, and in certain lights. So within that love, that coincides with that. Everything don't have to be gentle with your showing, executing your love. You know what I'm saying? You got to snatch brothers out the fire. When you snatch at somebody, you yanking it like, what you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? You got to do that, but that's an affection. You're not just doing it because I'm in authority and I can just yank you right now. That's just like, I have situations that come about when you salute somebody and say you got your hat on, you forget, and you reach out to salute, they take your hat off. It's like, that don't got nothing to do with me saluting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys understand, but basically, you'll salute me and then my hands are tied. And then I pull back and then I take my hat off and then I salute you. You know what I'm saying? But the brother's like, just because I'm in authority in a situation to where we're about to salute, hey, I want my it's like, nah, man, you're being disrespectful. G. Like let me You know, that person, like, if it's on my end, I should be respectful, make sure I have my P's and Q's right, but that don't give you the room to disrespect and take another person's gear off and make them salute how you want them to salute because they have to do it in a certain manner, but not in that procedure. Salakia for going in that aspect, but it was a thought relating in relation to it, But at the end of the day, if your child is playing in the street, you're gonna yell at them. Get your blank blank out the street. You get hit by a car, that's affection, but that was through forwardness. And then you got, when you're teaching your kid and they're learning, and you're teaching them their numbers and their ABCs, and you got patience. How our parents used to be. If you got 4 mother apples and I take one, how many you got? It makes you not want to learn. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know when to be gentle. You gotta know when to be forward with your affection, but your affection gotta be like with a true passion. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta know when to display it. That angry affection for me on the highways, I really don't. I try not to use it, man, because I'm really serious about this. I had a time someone's talking to me and I was talking about the scriptures and talking about the world and talking about Esau doing this, and I was using all kind of vulgar language, and it's like, man, why are you cursing? I'm like, man, because I'm serious about this. This is my life. I really care for my people. I really care when they sit here. I'm not gonna get all soft about that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said in the beginning, I understand the forward, I understand the gentle. It's just don't get structured and boxed in and be emotionless, and just do it because that's what other people do. And just come to your job to work and get paid. Oh, we're here to yell at people, and you're just out here just winging it, yelling at people, and oh, I yell the most, so I get extra points, right? It's like, and you really don't understand why you're doing this. We're out there to preach directly, correctly, and to do it with love. You know what I'm saying? And that love sometimes it calls for a person to get yelled at and chewed out. And they want to, you got to spit and be spitting and gnawing at the camera. Sometimes you got to just relax, be calm, be cool. Some brothers more than others, but never get unbalanced to the point that you don't see the use of the other nature. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got happiness, you got love, and you got hate. But you need both. One can't live without the other. So we'll read these last 2 verses and we're going to shut it down. It says, verse 12, it says, "For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face, now in part. I know," it says, "now I know in part, but then I shall know even as also I am known." And it's just talking about the prophecies and, understanding what's going on. Just like I say, you got to know when to be I know when to bound, I know when to base, but I really want to say I know when to love, you got to know when to hate. You know what I'm saying? You got to know when to execute these energies. Yahweh Shai knew it down to a perfection, which was one of the characteristics that made him such a great man, is that he knew when to, curse somebody out, and he knew when to duck off and go into the crowd. Okay? He knew when to retreat. All right? Verse 13, it says, "And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these 3, but the greatest is charity." Okay? Faith is a very important thing. Hope is a very important thing, but it says that charity is the greatest of them 3. To really be attached to what we're doing, to really have a connection, to really be invested. That reminds me of when Joe Rogan said that he had never been attached to a fighter or invested in a fighter. Because like when they lose, it's like you lose. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be within his ministry. That's why the scriptures say, "Sorrow with someone that is sorrow with thee." Because of charity. You actually love people who want to get out of here, man. You actually love the elect, because that's who we out here to love. And through the affections and the charity, in our affection toward the Most High, we hate the world because this is not what the world the world that is meant for righteousness and what the Lord's intention for the world to be. You know, that's why we hate this world. That's why, you know, I don't hate it just to be a nigga that just want to bring bad energy everywhere because I had a bad day or that's just my vibe. It's like, nah, I hate this, man. I hate having to get up and work to make somebody else rich, and then when you get your money, you're not utilizing it to take care of the people. You know, like I can't, you know, invest in that. You know, but I can work for Yahweh Shem Yahushua for no money, knowing that the things that the time I'm investing into him, the more energy that I put towards him is more. It seems not how I feel, but just in a scenario, our energy accelerates the prophecies. We don't get no reward for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care if I get a reward because at the end of the day, it will correct life. It will put a balance to life and stop all the suffering that we're going through. That's like, it'll right the wrongs. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it should be about. Salvation is a major bonus, a major reward. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the fact that what we're doing rights all the wrongs makes it worth it. You know what I'm saying? And he's the only one that knows the way, because he is the Most High. That's what his goal is, to make the whole world realize that, you know, and they will. Okay. So with that being said, I want to say, call law to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, double honors our apostles, who are elders who rule well. Blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth, sincerity. A sincere